because of the short of time, we would like to brief only these two subjects. As I briefed before, the sensorial related to our senses, and sensorial, how many senses do we have? Five. I think we have 6 senses from the beginning, but 5 has the body, 5 has the input-output, but the 6th one we create, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created already in those who are deaf and dumb or blind can be used करते हैं. That is the name Maria gave it, sterignostic. The visual sense, the tactile sense, gustatory sense, olfactory sense, auditory sense, these are the senses about which we know very well, but we don't know about the sterignostic. One way you people know it, that also. The time when the one who is blind, he touches the things and memorizes. He touches the things and he feels. So it goes in his mind. Hands are the messenger. For what? To send the message to your brain, to your control tower, from where your whole body controls. Right? So hands are tools of intelligence too. Why and how? Yes. Because we experience by touching. I cannot say that how heavy is this ball, what is the texture of this ball. I can't say. But I can say when I will lift it, when I will feel it, we can say what type of a ball it is. Visually the things what we see, there are 3 attributes which we visualize. What are those? Colors, shapes and dimension. These things we can visualize. We can't visualize or we can't say or tell when we close our eyes that what is the color of that one. What type of a dimension it has. But the time when we feel it, we can say it is like this. This is round and this is this and that. By touching. So there are 3 attributes which covers the visual sense, the shapes, colors and dimension. When we will go in details, we will let you know each and everything in the sensorial introduction. And then there are 3 attributes for the tactile sense too. The weight, pressure atmosphere, fear and temperature and the texture. These things we can only feel and say about these when we touch these things. Then there is a gustatory sense. It works when the sense of smell works. And we enjoy that different taste. आपने देखा होगा, as you enter at home, in your home, you say, oh, आज बिरयानी पक रही है, आज पुलाव पक रहा है, आज ये पक रहा है. At once you can say about these things. And the same way, when you listen something, sometimes you love to listen the loud sounds, but sometimes you don't. So these are the things, these are the impressions which goes to your brain, and you experience those things and you gain the knowledge about these things. So gaining knowledge is giving you and increase your intellectual power. As much you use your senses, as much it refines your senses. Refinement means that the minutest difference is going to clarify your impressions, what you get it as a whole. Sometimes the time when child passes through the unconscious time period, he absorbs a lot from his surroundings. So these are as a whole absorbed in his mind. But the time when he comes to the conscious periods, he works and he wants to rearrange the contents, what he has been already arranged, stored in his mind. So at that time he needs the clarification. At that time he needs to classify those things. For clarification and classification, the child needs to be presented the things in more clarity. आपने देखा होगा sometimes the child asks so many questions. Why it is like this? Why it is like this? Why it is this? Isn't that? Did you have any experience of such things? So that time what things he wants? The confusion, the chaos, what he has been stored in the unconscious time period in his mind, he wants to rearrange those contents. And he wants to see, as a whole he sees so many things are in the garden. But he doesn't know which is the plant, which is the flowers, which is the tree, which is the branches, which are the leaves. So these things, when you classify according to their things and items, it gets the clarity. And when the things becoming clear to the child, the more and more he will be experienced, more and more he gains the knowledge, more and more you can say intelligent. Sometimes some parents says, oh, mera bacha bada intelligent. He picks up very fast and quickly. It is nothing like that. It is the things, the environment, the surrounding, which is providing all those things to satisfy the child, to give the food to his body and the mind. It is the mother or the environment or the surrounding which is providing all these things. So these things, when we work with the material, we will let you know about which things are used for the dimension, which things used for the colors, which thing used for the textures. All these things we will do it in the sensorial file and folder. Because of the time we are in hurry to do it and complete it and brief it little bit to you. The other things what the child learns through the sensorial activities, the material itself has a built-in control of error. And sensorial materials and the Montessori system helps the child to develop his personality professionally, biologically and spiritually. These things also we will do it in details, the time when we will do it, because everything becomes a part of his life. Help him to make and build his personality, because as I said, the child is the constructor of his own personality and he constructs the everything. The second group, which is mathematics, it is divided into 5 main groups. And the first group is the number group, which is just giving the introduction, recognition, and the concrete way of learning. What things? The number. Numbers are just 1 to 9 or 0 to 9. And the concept of numbers is very important. Verbally, orally, before time we says number, we sing numbers, we recite numbers, 1, 2, 3, child knows it. Sometimes before coming to school the child knows all these things, but the concept of number is very important. Can you tell me why it is very important? The concept of number, why it is important?
The sense of quantity.
Sense of quantity. If he has no sense of quantity, he will be failed to do the addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. If we have 1 and we show it, this is 1. 1. So the child will carve this thing in his mind. 1 means 1 and 2 means 2, 3 means 3. So the material is so nice in such a way that the child automatically grasps and picks up the concepts very clearly. Everything first we give as a whole and then the parts of it. The same way we have the number rods, in which all the numbers are there from 1 to 10, and gradually the child comes to know. And as there is a rule, simple to complex, because the time when child comes into the Montessori environment, it is 2.5 or 2 years child, and gradually as he grows, his intelligence grows, his learning grows, he experiences a lot, he develops his habits, he becomes normalized. Children, those who come in the school environment, we say they are not normal. Normal from my point of view and our point of view, because they have no patience, they are not concentrating on their work, they don't give time to do, they just wandering here and there, their mind is not settled. So all these things make them settle and concentrate and make them normal the time when they work in the environment. When they're busy, when they utilize their potential, when they satisfy their inner urge. There is an inner teacher who is pushing them to go forward, to move forward, to do this, to do that. And they satisfied by doing those things. And when the child is able to do all these things, it is very easy to make him confident, to make him satisfied, to make him happy. आपने देखा होगा घर में भी कभी कोई छोटा बच्चा उसकी मर्जी का अगर कोई चीज मिल जाती है तो ही सो बिजी इन हिज वर्क कि आपको ढूंढना पड़ता है कि कहाँ चला गया वो, है ना? ना उसकी आवाज आती है, ना उसका शोर होता है, ना वो आपको डिस्टर्ब करता है, आपको ढूंढना पड़ता है कि वो कहाँ चला। और जब आप जाके देखें तो वो इतना मगन होता है अपने काम में कि उसको अपनी सराउंडिंग का कुछ होश नहीं होता कि वो कहाँ है, क्या कर रहा है, लेकिन he wants work. There is no substitute for the work. And child passes through the sensitive period for movement, as ma'am said. तो उस satisfaction उसने करनी होती है अपने अलग अलग नहीं. जब हम sensitive periods पे आएंगे, we will let you know कि why these quality what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to the young one is how important is that sensitivity and ability of the child, and why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to the child, and how in a proper way we have to use it to make a child normal and obedient and sensitive and to be able to learn each and everything. So mathematics ka first group is the number group, second group is the decimal group. What do you mean by the decimal group? Whenever I asked to anyone, they said to put the dots. Is that the decimal system? What is that? What is the decimal system? Counting in tens. The thing when you count in tens, it makes your counting very easy. मैं हमेशा अपने स्टूडेंट्स को एक एग्जाम्पल देती थी कि हमारा एक सर्वेंट था जिसको गिनती मिनती नहीं आती थी कुछ भी, वैसे पहचान तो थी. वो क्या करता था, अगर 10-10 के नोट है ना तो उसको 10 को करके बना लेता कि 100 हो गया, और अगर 100 के नोट है तो उनको 10 बना के कहा जी ये 1000 है, और 1000 के नोट है तो उसको 10,000 बना दिया उसने. So counting in tens is very easy. So our system, everywhere we use the decimal system, and it makes the so interesting to the child and so easy. आप मेरे साथ जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स जो कहते थे नहीं मैम हमें मैथ्स बहुत बोर लगता है, बोरिंग है, जब वो ये फाइल कर लेते थे, they love mathematics. Such a nice way Maria introduced these things. In the beginning, Maria said the maths we must or should introduce at the age of 6 onward. But later on, she said it is better to utilize in the absorbent mind time period. Because child passes through the absorbent mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the mind from 0 to 6 like a sponge. It absorbs everything what is in his surrounding, whatever we provide to the child, whatever we give in his environment, he absorbs those things. And these absorption of their things, of their surroundings, carved in their minds, and they work on these absorption throughout their life. So these are the things which we have to do it. Then the third group comes the linear group. Linear group, and in linear group, before we taught him in accounting in tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, but now we are going to teach him how you have to come from 10 to 20. So that is the linear counting. Beat by beat the child counts and he counts and come to know what is the linear counting. Then the fourth group is the memorization group. Here gradually we are taking to concrete to the abstract. Imagination develops by the concrete ideas and gradually now child is going to the imagination, abstract form. अगर ये चीजें आप देख रहे हैं तो these are abstract forms. We can't touch these things. We can't feel these things. But we have the concrete ideas in our minds. Right? We know if I draw the picture of glass or anything, so we come to know that this is a glass. But if just we will see a picture of anything which we had no imagination before in our mind, we can't say what it is. Exactly, we will fail to understand the concept of that things exactly. Okay? So this is the thing that gradually we are going. The fourth group is the memorization group, in which we will teach in long addition, long division and everything. But the child will do it by the memorization way. Very simple way. अब उसको जितना मटीरियल उसने पिछली एक्सरसाइजेस में यूज किया, ग्रेजुअली वो मटीरियल कम होता चला जाएगा. And in the last we have the abstract group, and that group उसमें सिर्फ we teach you the small bead frame, जबकि हमारे पास एक बड़ा फ्रेम भी है, large bead frame भी होता है, उसमें more than 1,000 we counts into it, addition and subtraction and multiplication. So this was the mathematics. Mathematics, man has, each and every person has the two powers of mind, imagination and abstraction. So our mind is a mathematical mind. Are you agree for that? क्योंकि आपने कभी ऐसा नहीं किया कि आपके पास लाइट ना हो तो आप सीढ़ियों से जब उतर रहे हो तो ऊपर की सीढ़ी से नीचे एकदम से छलांग लगा दो. आपके माइंड में होता है कि स्टेप बाय स्टेप यू हैव टू गेट डाउन. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स which we do it once, actually mind सबके mathematical mind है, but उनकी nourishment के लिए you need the things what required for give them the nourishment. उनको उसको encourage करने के लिए, उसको enhance करने के लिए we need the things. आप देख लें बहुत सारे लोग बहुत सारी चीजों में बिल्कुल निकम्मे होते हैं. बट बहुत सारे लोग इज वेरी एक्यूरेट, वेरी परफेक्ट, वेरी प्रिसीजन. बड़े जमाने बूढ़े जो हमारे ओल्ड एज लोग हैं, उनको जब अपने काम कर करके इतना एक्सपीरियंस हो जाता है तो वो आपको देख के बता देते हैं ये चीज इतने वेट की है, ये इसका इतने मेजरमेंट है, ये इतना ये है. सो माइंड इज ऑलरेडी मैथमेटिक्स, क्योंकि हमारी सराउंडिंग सारी जो है वो बहुत खूबसूरती से अल्लाह ताला ने डिजाइन की हुई है. एंड इन सारी चीजों को जो है एब्जॉर्ब करना, उनको ऑब्जर्व करना, उनमें चलना. कोई भी चीज आप अगर टेढ़ी मेढ़ी बनाते हैं तो इट डजंट लुक नाइस टू योर आईज, डज इट? बाज दफा और बाज लोगों का एस्थेटिक सेंस इतना डेवलप हो जाता है, इतना रिफाइन हो जाता है, इतना अच्छा होता है कि उनको सराउंडिंग में पड़ी हुई चीजें भी बुरी लगती हैं अगर आउट ऑफ ऑर्डर हो, ऑर्डर में ना हो, अच्छे से ना पढ़ी हूँ, कुछ ऐसी चीजें. ठीक है जी. अब हम आ जाएंगे मारिया मॉन्टेसरी की थ्योरीज पे. दिस इज द लास्ट लेक्चर. व्हाट इज द टाइम राइट नाउ? 1 o'clock, half an hour. As I said that Maria Montessori discovered the human being. Do you agree? During 15 days journey, we will let you know what it means. ह्यूमन बींग्स को जो मारिया मॉन्टेसरी ने डिस्कवर किया है, हाउ शी डिस्कवर्ड दिस वी विल लेट यू नो इन आवर ड्यूरिंग द 15 days journey. Child is also a creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is he? And how nicely and clearly she gave a theory about this child. This you will come to know. More than 100 years back, she gave different theories about the child. If we have the knowledge of these things, theories, and we observe our young ones, we will find those theories are still working. कुछ लोग जो है वो तो मारिया के सिस्टम सिस्टम को एडमिट ही नहीं करते, वो इस चीज को बिलीव ही नहीं करते कि नहीं जी बच्चा ये कर सकता है, बच्चा ये कर सकता है। लेकिन इफ यू हैव अ फेथ ऑन दिस सिस्टम, बिलीव मी, you will find each and every single word what she said, what she gave to us is 101% true, and the child does. चाहे किसी का भी बच्चा हो वो सब करते हैं. But the thing what is that your guidance, your environment, what the child needs. आपने कभी कूड़ा उठाने वालों के बच्चों को देखे हैं? इतने छोटे छोटे बच्चे होते हैं, आ रहे होते हैं अपने बड़ों की तरह, सारे आपके शॉपर्स उठा के लेते हैं, चाहे उनमें इतनी ताकत है या नहीं, but they do it because they see, observe these things in their surroundings. We can say that our young ones, we will find those theories are still working as she worked with more than 100 years before. She was a great educationist. What do you understand by the word education? एजुकेशन से क्या मैंने बताया भी है. What do you understand by education? Education doesn't mean to make your child ready for reading and writing. Personality development. Personality development, the way of living in this world, the way how to treat your friends, your family members, how to treat your relatives, how to treat and work. Actually, you introduce to the child how to live in this world. And there are different means of living.
Able to make survive in society.
How to survive in the society. All these things the child needs. Because each and every person is independent. Are they independent or no? Are you independent or no? नहीं, क्योंकि हमें कॉन्सेप्ट ही नहीं है व्हाट इज इंडिपेंडेंट होना क्या है. इंडिपेंडेंट होने का मकसद क्या है वो नहीं पता. आप अपने काम खुद करते हैं या कोई और करता है? दिस वे यू आर इंडिपेंडेंट. आप कभी चाहती हैं कि वो तो मजबूरी होती है ना कि शौहर की सुननी पड़ती है या ससुराल वालों की सुननी पड़ती है. Is it that? लेकिन अगर आपका बस चले तो आप किसी की भी ना सुने. आप कहें जो मैं करना चाहती हूँ मैं वो करना चाहती हूँ. Do you agree with this? Yes. ठीक है ना? So your inner needs to be independent. You want to be an independent being. हम छोटे से बच्चे को अगर इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं करते, 4-5 साल का बच्चा हो जाए, 6 साल का बच्चा हो जाए, कहे मुझे वॉश करवाएं, मुझे बाथरूम लेके जाएं, मुझे ये कराएं, मुझे खाना आप खिलाएं, तो आप इरिटेट होंगे या नहीं? होते हैं ना? Only because of that. And Maria, from the beginning, makes your child independent by providing, by giving all such things and help which you can do and for what you are made. देखिए, जानवरों के बच्चे पैदा होते ही चलने लगते हैं. Is it that? लेकिन हमारा बच्चा नहीं चलता. हमारे बच्चे का सर्वाइवल जितना रेस्ट करे, और जानवर का बच्चा अगर रेस्ट कर गया तो देयर इज नो सर्वाइवल फॉर दैट. उसको फौरन अपनी टांगों पे उठ के चलना है. ये अल्लाह की कुदरत है. और जो आपके पैरों के नीचे जन्नत बनाई है वो इसलिए नहीं बनाई कि आपका बच्चा चल पड़े फौरन. वो जो आप इतनी उसकी खिदमत करती हैं बिफोर बर्थ एंड आफ्टर बर्थ, फॉर दैट रीजन अल्लाह ताला ने आपके कदमों में जन्नत बनाई. राइट? आपको उसका सिला तो देगा अल्लाह, चाहे आप कैसा भी बिहेव करें बच्चे के साथ. वो जो आपने उसको पैदा कर दिया इस दुनिया में ले, एज मैम सेड नादिया, कि आपने उनको इस दुनिया में अल्लाह ताला की क्रिएशन को आपने एक वजूद को जाहिर किया है, तो उसके लिए जो है अल्लाह ताला उसका आपको अजर जरूर देगा. लेकिन बाकी चीजें अगर आप मॉन्टेसरी को फॉलो कर लेंगी तो ज्यादा मिल जाएंगी. What do I feel is that? ठीक है? Each and every person is independent, but we can't live alone. We are social animals. Our life is completed by different relationships. हमारी लाइफ उस वक्त कंप्लीट होती है जब हमारे सारे लोग हम जिनमें, आपने देखा होगा कभी अकेला आदमी रहता हो, अकेला रहना चाहता हो, तो उसको सब क्या कहते हैं? पागल कहते हैं। जो आदमी कहे नहीं मेरे साथ किसी का कोई रिलेशनशिप नहीं है, कुछ नहीं, मैं कमरे में बंद होके रह जाऊं, तो उसको सब पागल कहते हैं, सही। लेकिन जो लोग सब ग्रुप में रहते हैं, जितना आप इखलाक से मिलते हैं, जितना आप प्यार से मिलते हैं, उतना ही लोग आपको प्यार करते हैं। Isn't that? So we are social animals and we have to live together with each and every person of the society. We have to help our young ones to develop their personality. We have to educate them how nice way they can survive in future. Because the child is on the voyage of discovery and we have to make his voyage comfortable. किस तरह से? More and more you will study about the Maria's theories and all that things. You will come to know how easy and comfortable you can make your child's growth and how he can grow it nicely. Dr. Maria Montessori's education is that learning capacity of a child is fundamentally different from an adult. बड़ों से बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है। आर यू एग्री? बच्चों की जो ग्रोथ होती है, जो उनमें कैपेसिटी होती है ग्रो करने की, लर्न करने की, इज डिफरेंट देन द ग्रोन अप पीपल। सो दिस क्वालिटी इज वेरी मच प्रोमिनेंट इन लर्निंग ऑफ लैंग्वेज। ये एविडेंस आपको लैंग्वेज में मिलता है कि बच्चा किस तरह स्पीचलेस होता है, जस्ट ही इज मेकिंग साउंड्स, but how he starts speaking the complete sentences, how he communicates. अगर आप एक बच्चे को किसी ऐसी जगह रखते हैं जहाँ पे उसके सामने ज्यादा नहीं कोई बोलता, तो आप देखेंगे वो बच्चा बहुत कम बोलने वाला होगा. He will have no words to say. But if you will skip and miss his time period before 2.5 or 2.5, 3 years that, then it is very difficult for your child to learn the language. और फिर अगर आपने 6 साल तक उसको टच नहीं किया, उसको बहुत कम आपने प्रोवाइड किया वोकैबुलरी, स्पीकिंग, उसकी सराउंडिंग में आपने बातें नहीं की, उसकी सराउंडिंग में आपने उसको वो सारा कुछ नहीं दिया, which we will give it in the language to you, how you will develop your child's language, तो फिर आप देखेंगे कि your child will be dumb. वो ऐसा बच्चा हो जाएगा जैसे गूंगे, क्योंकि वो सुन तो रहा है लेकिन उसको सुनाया नहीं जा रहा, और वो स्पीचलेस हो जाएगा और वो बोल नहीं पाएगा. लेकिन अगर आप उसके साथ आप देख लें, बात बच्चे बड़े टॉकेटिव होते हैं. क्यों? कोई उनमें ज्यादा खासियत खूबी नहीं होती, वो सुनते बहुत कुछ. अब जो कुछ समटाइम्स आप फील कर रहे होते हैं कि ये बच्चा तो कुछ नहीं सुन रहा, ये तो अपने ध्यान काम कर रहा है, वो फिर भी एब्सॉर्ब कर रहा होता है, वो आपको सुन रहा होता है, वो अंदर ही अंदर ले रहा होता है. इसलिए बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी हैं जो आपने in their presence, either they are sleeping or unconscious or whatever they are, don't do it in front of them. So because they are in the absorption period, they are absorbing. The mind is working consciously and unconsciously. So whatever they see, observes and look here and there, they absorb those things. Achha ji. As a scientist, she observed the activities of the children and considered how she might stimulate and encourage them. Continuous observation made her to modify that material which were used by French doctors who devoted their life for handicapped children. She took care to prepare an environment. उन्होंने उन्हीं के उससे environment prepare किया था, which would give the children space for their developmental needs. In this way, Maria Montessori formulated a comprehensive theory of personal development with many aspects and symptoms. A study of the human development from birth to adulthood, the physical and psychology aspects of the child between 3 to 6, the child is seen as the constructor of the adult. Dr. Montessori refined her theory of child psychology, borrowing heavily from the science of biology and psychology. She described childhood as a process in which a hidden but definite plan of nature unfolds as the child works to create the adult personality. Actually, whatever the child is doing during the time period from 0 to 6 is that he is unfolding the abilities and the potentials what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to the child, but it is only possible when we will provide and give him according to the needs of the child and according to the child's size and according to that. अब जैसे हमने आपने देखा, all the things are in small size. He can easily carry it, these things. ना तो बहुत बड़ा हो और ना कुछ ऐसा हो जो वो ना कर सके. जो मार्या मॉन्टेसरी की theories हैं, according to you, there is a prepared environment, absorbent mind, and what is the next? Sensitive periods, right? But the most important things what we have to do is the independence, observation, following the child, correcting the child, and prepared environment and absorbent mind. The prepared environment, absorbent mind are the most important theories of Maria Montessori. These are goals and beliefs that Maria Montessori held with regard to the education of children. क्या चीजें होनी चाहिए? First thing, that we must observe the child, and by the observation we will find out that what things the child needs, what thing he wants to do, and according to his needs we must provide him the help and guidance. The independence. The most important thing is the child wants to work independently. आपने देखा होगा a time period comes when the child doesn't want you to do his work. Is it that? He कहेगा छोड़े मुझे दे दे मैं करूँगा. A time comes when he wants to eat on his own. Why do we teach these things? बल्कि इससे पहले ही वो करने लगता है. The mothers who have the knowledge, as I used to do for my grandchildren, the time when they want to eat on their own, I didn't care about it कि ये mess कर देगा या gunk कर देगा. I always spread a mat there and I gave the plate and spoon and things what she or he is going to eat और वो आराम से खाते. थोड़े दिन I observed, hardly 2-3 दिन या एक हफ्ता, the child is going to throw the things out of the plate, but in future he starts eating so nicely कि वो एक drop भी नहीं गिराता बच्चा. जब वो खाने लग जाता, बच्चा अपने आप को इंडिपेंडेंट कर रहा है, and the child himself gives you the signal, now I am ready for this, so please help me to help myself. So the first thing what the child needs is the independence. वो independent होना चाहता है. Never try to do the work which he doesn't want to work. Child wants to work independently because of his inner teacher and the tendency which are endowed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Child learns spontaneously to fulfill those tendencies which are helpful to construct his personality. So Maria says, never help a child with a task at which he feels he can succeed. अगर बच्चा चाहता है कि मैं खुद सक्सेसफुल हो जाऊंगा तो लेट हिम डू. लेकिन हर चीज के लिए we ourselves when we start the work or any new things, we also need the practice. We also need the repetition. Then we become master on that. अब जैसे स्टिचिंग करना चाह रहे हैं, आपको नहीं आता, फर्स्ट टाइम यू आर सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ मशीन एंड यू आर स्टिचिंग, टेढ़ा मेढ़ा आपका स्टिच होगा, कभी धागा निकल जाएगा, कभी कुछ, एंड gradually by the experience you will come to know what is the reason. So the material itself, the things itself gives the reason to the child and he corrects himself. Because Allah Ta'ala ने उसमें इतनी सलाहियत दी है कि वो उसको समझे. But the proper guidance, proper environments only he needs. It is always a goal of Montessori education in the classrooms to make the child independent and be able to do things himself. You will see after giving the presentation, the teacher leaves the child to do on his own. And she is not allowed to correct the child. If she finds that after so many times doing this exercise, either it is sensorial or EPL or mathematics, she will just observe and keep the mental record, okay, where and how the child is making mistakes. But gradually, if she will find he is unable to correct himself, then some other days she will say, okay, once again auntie wants to work with you. Would you like to come and do with me? So here she will repeat. Might be the time when you ask him to do that exercise, he was not willing to do it. Might be. Or maybe he didn't observe you properly. Because if the time when we give the presentations of